You're back with more Matt Patrick.
KTRH News Time is 7:17, and we are pleased once again to have Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott joining us. General Abbott, welcome back to Houston's Morning News, sir. Thanks for taking the time.
It's great to be back with you again.
General Abbott, let me ask you, I'm going to quote something that you said last month when the Supreme Court voted to hear this emergency appeal. You said, and I'm quoting, "It's judicial activism at its worst for judges to draw the redistricting map of their own choosing." The Supreme Court yesterday, Chief Justice Roberts said, how do you choose between two bad choices? How do you respond to that? And he's, of course, talking about both maps.
Right. I think that when he's talking about one of those two bad choices, he is in agreement with what we said, and that is the maps that were drawn by the federal district court, it was a bad choice, and that is the reason why the United States Supreme Court took the case and why we feel confident that they will overturn it is because the map that they are reviewing was drawn inappropriately with inadequate standards. The other bad choice he was talking about is a map that was drawn by the state of Texas that has yet to be pre-cleared. And so piercing through what all that means, it means that there's a high likelihood that our argument should prevail at the U.S. Supreme Court, and they just have to figure out do they allow the originally drawn map by the state legislature to go forward, or do they come up with a new map, a new standard? Because of the need for speed and because there's not enough time to send the case back down to the lower court for drawing of a new map, we hope and believe that they will just allow the state of Texas drawn map to proceed on so that we can have these elections take place as quickly as possible.
General Abbott, Attorney General Greg Abbott joining us this morning. And General Abbott, when we come back in just a second, I want to talk about some of the things that the justices said. Scalia and Alito said one thing, and Sotomayor said something completely different. Very, very interesting. I want to get your thoughts on and responses to what they said yesterday in the Supreme Court. Joining us right now, Attorney General Greg Abbott. General Abbott, welcome back to Houston's Morning News, and thanks so much for joining us today.
Absolutely.
All right. Scalia and Alito yesterday call the drawing of election districts a political process. As I mentioned, Chief Justice Roberts questions the minority coalition district in Dallas. And Sotomayor, she weighs in and she basically says that what was done originally was done to minimize the Latino vote. I want to go back to what Scalia and Alito said, and indeed it is. It's a political process, the drawing of these maps, correct?
Well, it is, and they went to the heart of what the basic issue is, and that is whenever you draw district maps to determine what the lines are going to look like for the state legislature or for the United States Congress, there really are no neutral principles that can completely govern the issue. There have to be choices that will be made about which precinct goes into which district, and those choices inevitably involve political decisions. And as the Supreme Court was making clear, Justice Scalia as well as others, they were saying it is inappropriate for unelected federal judges to be making those political decisions, and the lower court federal judges have to give some meaningful deference to the policymakers who were elected to make those decisions.
And General Abbott, are we going to get the primaries in here in early April? Are they going to make a decision here quickly enough that we can do that?
Well, that's exactly our hope. The Supreme Court, you could tell from the comments they made from the bench, they understood the need for speed, but you could also tell they wanted to make sure they were able to get the answer right. So we're hoping that they get an answer out to us by the end of this month. If they are able to do that, then we should be able to have the primaries as currently scheduled on April the 3rd.
All right. Well, that would certainly be good so that Texans can weigh in on who will be the next president of the United States. That is important for a state this size. Attorney General Greg Abbott joining us this morning. General Abbott, thank you so much for your time as always.
Always good to visit with you. You guys take care.